All right, come on in, family. Y'all, you ever just gotta laugh? You gotta laugh at yourself sometimes. Come in. How are you doing? Today is March the 18th. It's Wednesday. Today we're going to be ramping up, and I don't even want to say ramping up towards this new moon. Thanks so much for hanging out. You know the spiel. You guys know that I love doing personal one-on-one work. I make custom ritual tools like candles and oils. I read and teach when it comes to astrology, tarot cards. Honestly, if you're new here, thank you so much for hanging out. I just realized I didn't get my lighter either. I'm going to print out the chart for you guys, but I had to just laugh because me and my camera stand, man. Hold on, guys. Yeah, so come on in. The best place to go is I have all of my find me here's in my little description box, but honestly, the website is the best landing spot. Wildwander.net. If you go to the website, you're going to see everything there, okay, including my school tarot and alchemy platform. I'm excited. We've had some content. We had like some in bulk content, and we kind of flow in the context of the sabbatical season. We talk about card associations. We learn about tarot cards, and it's always woven into the seasonal energy, and it also picks up on the astrology. But I'm really excited because we're really going to get into tarot cards and walking through the major arcana together and learning about minors and court cards. But I will say it's all woven in an alchemical way, in a sabbatical living way, because I feel like you can read so many books. I guess we're just going to talk about tarot real quick. You can read so many books, guys, and you can. It's a lot of people want to be taught how to read tarot. And of course we can memorize a collective body of information, right? And just regurgitate. But if you really, and that's part of it, don't get me wrong. This is coming from someone who's been journaling and doing tarot and working with it for over way longer than a decade, but kind of formally for like a decade, right? So I'm saying I just feel like you get so much out of it for yourself. And when you can connect cards and the collective body that lives in the occulted mysticism and the wisdom and the spiritual knowledge and the astrology in the tarot deck, okay? When you plug into that and you start to see how you flow through the seasons. So it's kind of a caveat, right, in my tarot alchemy school. And I think, honestly, it's not a shameless plug. First of all, a plug is not shameless. If you do something that's good and it's helpful for the collective, especially if you're someone with a solid body of dark nights of the soul and you feel called to teach something, to do something, to help, I know you better tell us about what you do, because you know me. I will tell you about my friends and what they do real quick. So yeah, to me it's really cool because at the same time as you're learning about cards, I create like custom spreads over there. We do journal prompts. I give video teaching content just like this. Is me in my hands. We'll set up live chat sessions to hang out throughout the month and whatnot. But you're also learning how to view your world and your perspective in a sabbatical seasonal way. And you know, over here, I love to get you up out your frequency, friends. Ooh, is that a message? I mean, it could be. Frequency friends. Maybe Spirit is giving someone a message if they've been called to, hey, look for new friends. You can come hang out with us over there. I'm going to be real with you, though. Now, I still do one-on-one work. I do tarot readings all the time, intuitive astrology readings. I do teaching sessions where somebody will be like, girl, friend, sis, you know, he, she, them, they, we love everybody over here, but they'll be like, I don't know anything about my chart. And so sometimes we'll do bookings, and I have those on my website too, where we'll just walk hand in hand together and you'll learn all about the energy in your chart. And that's a really cool experience too. So it's a little bit of something for everybody, right? But yeah, listen, it's a subscription based platform is what school is, right? SKOOL. And when you subscribe, it's a monthly thing. And the way that my tarot community is set up is that once the module like goes live, you can access it anytime you want to. You can go through it at your own pace. I think every model has at least one main like video teaching, and you can pause and you can go, what did she say there? You can take notes. If you're not a note taker, I always have the module there. So once you join, you also get like access to all the modules that I've already created. So listen, hop over to my website if you're curious about like what's she doing. Okay. We do love to make candles. I'm always sharing little pops of my magical things. I would say Instagram is a great place to find me. Tons of visuals and videos and things of the such and the sort are over there. I do have a Facebook business page. I collaborate with beautiful ladies and wonderful people that I've learned and studied with for a long time. I love my community. Okay, so listen. This is the energy though. This is the energy though, and I think that is coming through because, child, I'm over here just trying to load this. Is this today? Because technically, the moon is not going to be peak new moon until like Eastern Standard Time. I'm in the Southeast, right? So the moon maybe this evening. It's an evening type of new moon, but it's going to flow into tomorrow as well. Yeah, I don't know. Child, why is it not loading? That gets on my nerves so bad. Where's that one page that I like to go to? Is it Cafe Astrology? I like their free chart sometimes just because it's big and it's clean and it's easy to see. Here it is. We love to write notes. Oh, y'all, the way. Oh, my. Talk about cleansings and the new beginnings is so crazy. Okay, I've got to save it first, you guys. And then we can print her. So yeah, how are you doing? How are you feeling? I love this energy and chatting about, not only what I do and what I've spent a lot of time and a lot of organic, really rooted in genuine connection type of work and growing. We've all been doing different things. I would wager to say that somewhere in everybody's life, you've got something that is wanting to be rebirthed right now. Hello, it could be you. You could be like, it's me. You could be like, it's a job, or perhaps you're seed planting because you're like, I'm really planning. I'm getting strategic. This could be an energy, really, what it feels like, is like, how do we say? It's like, I've made a decision on something. And oftentimes we understand that the moment that you come into alignment, there's a sense of knowing or a sense of clearing, or just that beautiful sense of like understanding something. And you're like, yeah. And then all the energy starts to kind of fall into motion. You could find yourself really coming into this new moon energy, and it's going to be a ripple effect because we're going to go from the new moon. We're going to flow into the spring equinox energy. We're going to open up into Aries season. I love this for us. And then Mercury's going to go direct. And by the end of the month, Venus will be in Taurus. It's very beautiful. It's giving so much like, yes, let's get the seedlings going. Like, let's get into it. Please don't confuse the energy, though, with, all right, so now, excuse me, you guys know I still got that little friend. I'm just trying to claim immunity system upgrades over here at this point because I don't want, the moment I say, if I get one more virus or then I'm going to get it, because Spirit will be like, say no more. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I'm not trying to manifest that though. Okay. Let's go ahead and print this. But yeah, I'm still a little bit sniffly. I'm on the tail end of it though. That's what I'm claiming, y'all. Let's print this chart. But I realized that I left a crack in the window and the dogs will go cray cray. Hold on one second, guys. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. to this deck. Hold on. Footsteps even like that. Let me find the book, you guys. Where? Okay. Ooh, y'all, she dusty. We gonna wipe her off. Molly has to examine. She's not interested. Okay. I walked by this, listen, have you guys ever gotten into Maya Toll? Oh my gosh, she's amazing. I think she has full printed, like full on, Oracle card decks now. But when she first started doing these, I want to say I've had the herbiary one for quite some time. But she would do these in the back of the book, and you had to like actually tear them apart. It's old school. Y'all know nothing about that. But then she came out, I think there's a crystallarium now, the bestiary, the animal symbolism. I love these. These are so good for journal fodder. Maya Toll is amazing. She used to have a shop in, was it Asheville, Hendersonville, in North Carolina? I went to her shop twice, and I was like, you know, because I didn't know that she was that close up in the Carolinas. Let's look at the chart energy. I don't know why. It's always dog hair, but I'm always smudging, and who knows what's going on. Look, ain't no telling. It's probably mostly smudge and dog hair on these books. But listen, I forgot I had this, but I felt called to it. Hold on. Let's prop her up. I kind of like the way she look. Ooh. Let's look at the chart, you guys. Woo! I know you see that. Let's circle. We have moon, 28 degrees. We have sun, 28 degrees. Look at that, 10-10. I know you see it. At a new moon, the sun and the moon are going to be the same degree. Look at this beautiful, beautiful energy. Okay, so we're now having a new moon as we've come out of the eclipse portal now. So it can feel not only very activating, but I think it's a lot about integration as well when we come out of the eclipse portals, especially. Look at all the Aries, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 still in a Pisces stellium, of course, because that north node is included there. What kind of aspects do we have? I mean, of course, we see conjunction to Saturn and Neptune, only a couple degrees apart. You see that's both the sun and the moon. And that just means, remember, in a conjunction, we always say, that just means that they're desk buddies, they're besties, they're pulling their desks real close together, they're doing homework together, okay? They're all working very closely together. The new moon, the sun, Saturn, Neptune. So we've got the Pisces energy. Look, 8 plus 2 is 10. 8 plus 2 is 10, 10. This is a lot of completion. We keep talking about this. I'm going to write 10, 10. That's so crazy because I've been seeing 10, 10. I'm trying to tell you. It is a year of 10 as well. I know you hear me like a broken record. I continuously drive home the message of this year is as much about completion as it is about new beginnings. Okay, so if ever, always there was. No, if any time, the time is now to be planting seeds, to be believing, to be making the decision. And sometimes, yes, we need some plans. Seed planting is not like, hooray, everything's going to bloom tomorrow, right? Okay, we know that seed planting oftentimes is, I'm planting the seeds, but I don't know, I keep hearing this. It's like, I made a decision. What am I hearing? I'm hearing, why am I hearing that? What's the song, y'all? Is it Adele? I've made up my mind. No need to think it over. If I'm Wrong I am done. Dun, 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 dun. Is that Chasing Pavements by Adele? Oh, should I give up or should I just keep chasing pavements? Shout out if you're an Adele fan, okay? Because that's OG Adele. Oh, love her. When I tell you every album, but in those, you know, the ones I'm talking about in the beginning when she was still young, when she was still green. I feel though that Adele wasn't even green when she was green, you know what I'm saying? But that is a great song. Chasing Pavements gives like the Fool energy, does it not? An unfamiliar path. Okay, I've made a decision. I'm hearing that song again. Once there was a way to get back home again. Once there was a way. What did we say? Jennifer Hudson was covering that in the movie. I've made a decision. Paths. Sleep, pretty darling, don't you cry, and I will sing a lullaby. Oh, dun, 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 dun. Okay, Unfamiliar Pathways. This is giving Dream the Dream. The dreamer, dreaming the dream. I'm hearing Eyes Wide Shut, but it's more like Eyes Wide Open. Wasn't that a movie? I don't even remember what that was about, y'all. There's visions coming through. You know what? Today, I'm seeing the water bearer. I want to draw like a vessel. Child. Listen, I do all right artistically, but like it looks more like a beaker, but why is it appropriate? And I feel like drawing the little Aquarius squiggles is almost like a lightning bolt. Y'all, it looks like a beaker though, doesn't it? Pouring down into all of this energy. I'm hearing deluge, flooding, flood the timelines, flooding the timelines, okay? I'm hearing that, flooding the timelines. Yes. It makes me think of how we were talking about the River Nile flooding and how it's such a nourishing process. Because the waves of the earth, the ascending Terra Gaia, who's a beautiful, sentient, ancient spirit in and of herself, the original mother, okay, she knows what she's doing. We don't have to be afraid. Once there was a way to get back home again. It's giving this energy of like the Fool comes back. Oh, yes, he went through the portal. Remember the World card? He went through the portal. Boom. It's like a coming full circle, which totally makes sense because Saturn went all the way around. Boom. Or should I say all the way around, came back to Aries. So has Neptune done the same thing. And so is Pisces preparing us to flow into that world point, that cross-quarter point of new beginnings, okay? So big and beautiful. But it's almost like I'm seeing someone standing in the rain or leaning backwards. You know how you fall into a pool or you fall into the lake? Please be careful in the lake, y'all. I'm going to need y'all to check. It's not a good idea to be falling backwards into a lake or a river, okay? But, oh, you know what it makes me think of? Chris Ann's the Light Seers Tarot. You know how the Fool's card, she's falling. Oh, you know I'm going to go there. Hold on, you guys. This is so much the Fool's energy. Yeah, it is her card, the Fool's card. And the Fool, if you haven't seen her, I have that deck. It's just, where is it? It's put, I don't know, it's probably over there somewhere. I awaken my soul path and I'm ready for adventure. Yes, can we please claim that? I have an adventure planned for this weekend too. I'm so excited how every little thing just fell into place. And get into the energy with me. I didn't have to force anything. And I really have just been doing other things and trying to take care of my body and healing and the viral gunk and everything. I was just flowing and vibing, doing the things I do, and everything fell into place. And I'm like, wow, I'm going to end up being there on the weekend. It's kind of like my spring equinox ritual, and it couldn't be more perfect. There's going to be dancing, there's going to be music, and I'm pumped. And I am still taking meds and doing the things, but you know, we gonna go. We gonna go. We gotta be easy on the knees these days, you know, but I've always felt like going to see live music, and whether you know, straight up mosh and go all in, or whatever it is the case, it's very vibrational, it's very healing, moving of the body, it's very get that lymphatic system flowing, shake off that stagnant energy. So I'm really pumped about that. I had an appointment this morning where I had to get blood drawn, and you can't help but think when you live astrology all the time, and I'm like, wow, I'm getting blood drawn, and we're about to go into Aries season, and I'm thinking of blood, you know, pumping through the body. These light codes are circulating. We're really, really being called to have faith and keep dreaming. I feel like everywhere I turn in the collective, whether it's an energy channeler, an astrological or seasonal or sabbatical or mystic teacher, intuitives, you know what I mean, other astrological teachers that I admire, they're saying this is such a poignant, pivotal, that's not a word, child, pivotal, I'm hearing pivot, what is that, friends? Yeah, listen, we gotta, it's the path might be going up the stairs, you might feel like you're carrying all the furniture on your back, we gotta pivot, it's a pivot point. Are you going to choose spontaneity? Are you going to be lighthearted? Are you going to keep going back down where the hooks want to pull you? Because I'm going to tell you right now, you know, we saw the death card, those timelines going down. That makes me think of a song, but I lost it. Now I'm hearing, and I think it's gonna be a long, long time. The touchdowns bring me back a dun dun dun. Oh, no, no. What is that? I'm a rocket man. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, in one of the, was it the Fire Horse module where I was writing this whole combustion, ignition? We've been talking about these metaphors with the Fire Horse. Now I'm seeing a rocket. It's planning its trajectory because it's going to be time. It's time to pivot. You know, what are we choosing, right? Are we choosing faith? Are we choosing, you can have faith and not be delulu. You can be lighthearted and be full of spontaneity and treat every day or reset point or these rebirthings as periods of awakening. That's very much how the faith of the fool, through the eyes of a little child, you enter the kingdom, so to speak, right? It's time for a new journey, okay? But you cannot come to this point after this many lessons that Saturn and Neptune and lots of other cycles. Remember, we're doing that South Node Virgo homework. We've come to a point and it's like, what are you for real? Look, for real, lock in. What are you choosing? Because it's you choosing it. Okay, so it's a epic journey, and I'm looking at this image of the Fool card in the Light Seers Tarot, and it's like this flower of life, grid of light. It's the falling backwards. She even has like a gemstone in her hand. She's about to fall into this water. It makes me think of doing the trust fall exercises. I know you better plan a trust fall with the universe. Okay. It's a childlike, optimistic time with all of this Pisces energy. Okay. I think, you know, you got to think, okay, as Saturn is kind of going to start the process of moving away slowly from Neptune, and we had this big entry to Aries. Remind yourself, again, this is seed planting. It's early stages of things. We are thinking about the new moon in Pisces, but we're also thinking about the fact that, you know, we're starting the beginnings of like a journey that's going to go on over 30 years. Now I'm hearing that clip again. I was like, 30 minutes? Do you know you have 30 minutes? I don't know. It's not to make you feel like you should rush, but it's giving like, this is the time, this is the hour, this is the time, this is the hour. Give us the something, give us the power. What is that? The craft? Okay. I'm hearing that, you don't even exist to me. What is that, Nancy? Ooh, we are blowing off the dust. We are getting things out. I'm uploading a short. It's probably already uploaded now, but I've been doing the things. Listen, today is such a great day in whatever ways that you decide to practice releasing stuck, stagnant energy, whether you choose to say it's low vibrational or lower in frequency. It's it's a spectrum, right? And it's not to say good and bad. I mean, honey, listen, sometimes it's bad. Like, let's just not try to make it excessively woo-woo. But whatever you do to practice release, maybe you're lighting some white candles. Maybe you're grabbing some rosemary and sea salts and whatever you have on hand, and you're doing a simmer pot, opening windows. I encourage you, really rolling out all into the weekend time. Is beautiful spring equinox. Spirit baths are amazing right now. You know, if you smudge, maybe you have your sprays, your mitts, you know, your mist and whatnot. I have my white water over here that I'm going to give us a little, I don't want to get the paper too wet, but, ooh, she smell good. Smell like clean freshness. Okay. What is this? Oh, I was bottling oils and sitting them out in batches to smudge them and let a little bit of the sunlight and the fresh air come through the window on my altar. This is my Ostara, my spring equinox ritual oil. Y'all, it smells so good. It smells like citruses and lavender, and oh, it smells like chamomile and lemon balm, melissa. We have all kinds of good stuff in here. Little dandelions, all kinds of pretty things. Can we just get into that cute bottle too? Listen, today is a wonderful day. It's a great day because we're going to work all the way up to the evening time and then flowing over into the morning time for that beautiful new moon energy to come through. So in whatever way, perhaps your way is just that you meditate and you use your visualization. You put on those special hertz or singing bowls or whatever sound frequency. You can cleanse your home really effectively with that. And maybe doing a guided, you know, we love Steve Noble over here for a solid, energetically top tier, like guided meditation. He has ones where you can close your eyes and do guided meditations to cleanse your space. Setting the intention for that is beautiful energy to work through. Really, I always like to remind you guys, don't be in a hurry. You don't have to be in a hurry. We're just now unfolding these paths. This energy today, rolling over until tomorrow, you can maybe just choose one thing and then put all your streamlined focus and energy into that. Maybe it is using your sound bowl. Maybe it is just, you're like, I got a little bit of essential oil and a steam mop. I love that for you. Maybe you do. Perhaps, like I said, you do a guided meditation, then you go do your bath, and you might be like, well, all I got is sea salt, and I found some basil or rosemary. I know you better put that in your bath. You got some crystals. Okay, do with what you have where you are, and it's your intention that's so powerful. Okay. So I love this energy. I love this energy in whatever way that you can. It's time to ground a vision into reality. Okay, we're solid, rooted, and grounded. The solid rooting and grounding and saying, I know where I'm at. This is where I'm at. This is what I'm seeing. You're dreaming, but it's not like, again, you're open. Eyes wide open, because I'm thinking of the movie, of course, Eyes Wide Shut, but it's eyes wide open. You are here. You're present in your body. But it still is very much this potent energy of, oh, the vision is coming through now. I'm feeling it. Okay, I'm feeling it. It's this type of vibe, right? So I love this new moon in Pisces. It's excellent to pay attention to the conjunction with Saturn and Neptune. Of course, again, because it's a new moon, we have, the sun and the moon, both at that 28-degree mark. They're both there together. And again, just to reiterate, it's a blend. You see what I'm saying? It's a transmutation of this coming all the way down to this start point here with Saturn. You see? And see, Saturn, like I was saying, is already starting to move away. Neptune's going to move very slow, right? So Saturn's already going to start moving forward. And I love that we have Venus up ahead too. We've talked about that as well. And then Mercury retrograde. Mercury will go direct. Like I said, I think it's on the 20th. I don't want to say it's hidden though, because I think that we are already grasping it. We're already feeling the intention, but I still do want to encourage the stillness. It's very, very important. The only way to move forward into these new timelines is with that inner seated knowingness. Okay. There are going to be a lot of things that continue to impact our nervous system, and we're encouraged to, it's hold the line, hold the line. How many times Spirit is saying something like over and over and over again? How many times have I shown you? Again, this Pluto in Aquarius, y'all like my little science beaker. It makes me think of the Astro Matrix Tarot. If you've ever seen that deck, and it's almost like, it looks like Nikolai Tesla is the magician, and he's channeling the electricity. This is giving like, whoa, the backdrop of all of this going on is this amazing Pluto and Aquarius energy. It's like grounding a charge, right? Just be careful, you're in a lot of water, so you need to make sure you're grounded and rooted in your body as well. But it's a time to trust your intuition. Okay, it's a really big time. It's almost this energy of being like, I refuse to go into another cycle of my life and not let myself trust in the things that I can't see, because I'm not going backwards anymore. So I'm getting that type of energy. What other aspects? Oh, we do have a sextile with Uranus. Oh yeah, I forgot. We have a sextile, which is pulling on that Pluto energy, right? And then we also have Uranus being brought in a sextile. And of course, Uranus is finishing up the last bits of the journey with Taurus too. So I like that it gives us flexibility and adaptability. I like that that kind of brings in the again, I drew it like a lightning bolt, but Uranus in this sextile it really gives kind of like, whoa, a sudden, a flash of a download, a big, brilliant, we were talking about lightning yesterday, weren't we? A big, brilliant display of, oh my gosh. It's that type of energy where it's like, how do we say, you wake up one morning and you're like, whoa, my perspective shifted. Now, sometimes we'll see immediate things come into reality. That's not always the case. That's more rarely the case, but it's not impossible. Okay. I think that we do also need to be grounded, because Pluto is going to continue to kind of come in and show us things that we can kind of click into our understanding. Perhaps like someone's intention will suddenly become really clear, and you'll be like, oh, okay, say no more. Or something like, for example, will happen at your job or in the city you live in, you'll be like, yeah, it's time. It's time. What is that? Mariah Carey thought, how shout out to my friend, because we tease each other and we'll be sending that. It's time. She knows. If she sees this, she'll know. That's that Pluto on the backdrop, lighting up the skies. We've got the Uranian energy jolting you back into your body, being like, you know what you know. Trust yourself is huge, okay? It's time to get to a place where you say, what is my intention? What is my desire? That is so, so important right now. I think it's worth mentioning for sure, Jupiter is squaring Venus right now. There's a trine to Mars. And remember, we've been talking about how these water elements are all connecting together. They're connecting with the Mercury retrograde in Pisces and with Jupiter in Cancer. So that's still present. And again, it takes you back to, how am I nourishing myself? Okay, is this in alignment with the ways that I'm trying to nourish myself? Okay, all of these insights, these visions, these downloads, my intuition that I'm learning to trust, is this in alignment with that? So let's continue to trust. Mercury retrograde is being completed in Pisces. Jupiter in Cancer. We're developing the ability to trust our intuition. We're growing in emotional maturity, and we're kind of looking back at these karmic cycles and saying, yeah, this is what I've had enough of. This is what I've taught me. It's done what it's needed to do. Okay, there's still like a little bit of, and I'm going to say darkness, but like, it's not in a negative way. It is because that's where the seeds start doing things under the soil first, is in the dark. Okay, so I think it's a really beautiful chart. The sextile energy is lovely with Uranus and Pluto. Okay, I'm shuffling, by the way. Hold on, let me make sure I'm yeah, this is the herbiary. Let's pull an oracle card from the herbiary with Maya Toll. Yeah, but that big main focus is going to be the conjunction there with Saturn and Neptune. Okay. Trust your instincts, trust your intuition. Super huge right now. Okay. Remember, compassionately detaching so that you can do that inner work. That energy is still very potent. What else, I think I'll take a second to say I still hope that you are focused on releasing toxic perfectionism. I think any type of guided meditations or your own meditations, or even, again, some people do automatic writing. Some people craft vision boards, or some people, some people have those, art journals, whatever the modality is that you use to get in touch with your visioning. Visioning is very empowered right now with this energy in the collective. I would still encourage you, for embodiment's purposes on many different levels, to move your body. Do you want to do chi? Do you want to do yoga, stretching, Pilates? You can push it, you can lift heavy, you can do a fast run, whatever works for you. Like, your body best at the end of the day in your own intuitive journey. But I think it will also help the energy flow, the stagnant vibrational frequency release, and things like this. Mars and Pisces, all the water signs, is to do things that feel more flowing. Especially if you can be out in nature, or even, if you can get to some water today in nature, that'd even be more amazing. Or today, tomorrow, and flowing into the weekend, right? You don't have to be in a hurry. I don't ever like to stoke the energy that, like, if you don't tap into this energy right now today, like, that's silly. And time doesn't even unfold like that. Or I should say time, what is time? The essence of the frequencies of energy we're tapped into, they unfold in a certain way. You don't have to it's not all or nothing only today. It's a beautiful energy that's flowing out and leading us all the way up to, Thursday, Friday, and into the weekend. Seasons are sabbatical, and so is energy. So take your time and ask yourself what your body needs to release stagnant energy. There's a lot of determination and focus that's available. Although, with Aries on the board and certain energies as the backdrop, you don't want to get like too stubborn, too impulsive. Okay, we are in unfoldment. Okay, it's more important to be in alignment with the vision of why you want what you want, or how the dream or the creative muse or the new opportunity, how does it make you feel? You know what I'm talking about? You got to kind of Abraham Hicks this energy of looking for how the alignment of a thing or a decision or a new creation of something makes you feel. You know what I'm saying? But a caveat is, at the same time, you can't get lost in that, because then you might kind of get pulled in the undertow of the Delulu, right? You want to stay solid and grounded. And Saturn and Aries will help you do that. When you look at Saturn and Aries energy, Saturn's going to say, all right, Aries, we're not getting impulsive. We got to stick with the sustainability of a thing. We got to walk it out. That's what happens when you start big new cycles with Saturn like this. But look at you meeting this at the time of the life where you've learned so much already. Imagine you're meeting all of this energy that's unfolding as we get into the spring equinox and open up this new moon portal. Look at how far you've come, right? Okay, I will say shout out to people who have mutable signs, right? Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces. Of course, you can look at the house rulership in your chart too to kind of get an idea, like, okay, I'm going to be feeling this most in what part of my life. That's always helpful. But if you do have big mutable placements, Gemini, Virgo, Sag, Pisces, shout out to you guys. You may be feeling this a lot. Or you've got that cardinal energy in your chart, right? Like I have Mars and Venus, Aries. So my Mars and Aries is just, it's starting to wake up. It's starting to get kindling. But of course, Mars is in Pisces in the collective right now. So I'm tearing myself. You know, it's like you got to gear it. You don't want to boom, boom, pow, and then explode your Rocket Man moment way too fast. And then, oh, I should have been a little more grounded, right? We want sustainability. We want balance, okay? But yes, cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra too can be, if I had to pin it down, I would even say mutable signs between 0 to 2 degrees. You know, you can check out, well, I always say too, look at where that lands in your own personal chart. We don't gatekeep over here. We love, you know, there's so many free resources where you can actually just pull up your own chart and you can do a little do, and you can study. Self-study is available to all. So there's a lot of inspirational energy in the field and the collective energy right now. Okay. If ever, oh, ever, oh, is, there was, okay. If there was ever a time to be doing your fool's jumping, to be doing your magician's work, it would be now. It would be in the spring, stretching out into the summertime. And I'm talking about not just what I want to do for the summer. I'm talking about what I want to do. How do I want to find myself feeling? Where do I want to be landing? What is it that I'm growing over time in the next 2 years, 5 years, decade? Excuse me. Have I reimagined my life? And then have I also looked at my reality? Am I being flexible? How is my career changing? How is the field that inspires me? Hold on, guys. Hold on. I mean, I knew it was going to happen at least one time. They're doing too much springtime work outside. There was like this big machinery thing going by. But I'm telling you, now of all the times is to be honing in on that, okay? And this would be more like, I want to restructure my life to be more fluid based. I want to be able to consume less, to have more energetic and inspirational creative freedom. Maybe that looks like making my career more fluid. Maybe that looks like downsizing in how I consume things. I'm looking at how I spend my money, which is a direct collaborative telltale sign of like how I exchange my energetic currency, right? Maybe you're thinking like, I don't think I can spend another decade in this career that I hate. Okay, so what's the plan? Let's dive into it. Your life is what you make of it, right? And you create it and then dive into it like an adventure that's unfolding. Okay, so there's so much beautiful energy out. I know if I go on much longer, though, I know that they're going to start coming and working in this area. I'm in an area where there's lots of beautiful trees and stuff, so I know they're going to be over here. But listen, intuition and spirituality maxed at this portal. Let's grow spiritually. Let's tap into our subconscious. Have we been doing that work? Okay, manifesting, vision work, visualization, writing things down. Do those rituals. You might be like, I don't really get into ritual. Like, look, pick this time of the year right now to sit down and say, for 7 days, I'm going to do that gratitude or that affirmation or that petition practice. I'm going to write it. I'll be thanking spirit. I'll be saying my affirmations. I'll be looking at myself in the mirror. This is what we're doing. Now, if you've been doing that type of work leading up to this portal, when I tell you the release is going to be amplified 3 times 3 times 3, we claim that. And the renewal, the rebirth will be amplified 3 times 3 times 3. Water-based rituals are really great. I will continue to amplify that. If you can't take a whole bath, that's okay. Maybe you're just like, I really can't until the weekend get away to that lake or that creek bed that I love to sit by. Okay, do a foot soak if you can't do a whole bath. And maybe for whatever reason, you can just make yourself a little spritz of water and you speak life into that water and you put a gemstone in it. It's all about your intention, you see. Okay? If you got big hitting Pisces placements, or let's say maybe you have a 12th house and you got a lot of stuff going on in it, or you know what I mean? Your 12th house in general is a great place to look right now. Overall, though, energetic alignment, deep subconscious work, high level vision, oriented, like, you know, higher tier in service of the highest and best good, really aligned with my individual authenticity. Those type of goals, those type of manifestations right now are what are going to hit the biggest. Okay. All right. So let's see what we get from the herbiary. Okay. Let's see what we have, guys. Oh, mugwort. I literally had mugwort in my hands today. Yes. I tossed a little. It wasn't in the. This is so funny, but it's not, because this is how the universe works when you walk and choose to live your life like this. It literally says between dreams. Get into that. Mugwort, between dreams. Now I'm looking at my dream catcher. Child, you know I got about 3, 4 hanging around here, but there is one in my direct line of sight. Look at that. Look at that. This crystal right here makes me think of my Lemurian, ooh, that's my fault. Oh, we got to put her back up there, though. She'll be watching out for us. This makes me think of my coded record keeper. You can't see her, but she's got the striated, she's got those codes. That's what that makes me think of. You see it? Ooh, maybe someone resonates with Lemurian frequencies. That's that Pisces energy right there. But yeah, mugwort was not in the original recipe, but this is how it happens, y'all. I'm telling you, and this is confirmation. I put tiny little pinches of mugwort in this little small batch of bottles. I had some leftover master oil, so I did a second round of offerings. She smells so good, y'all. She smelled like a little lavender, like a little lemonade lavender with some herby pops. Like, also, if you just cut the grass, I'm telling you. But I just put a pinch of mugwort, and I was like, and that's why. So that's beautiful. Look at that. How wonderful. I know there are some smudge wands that have mugwort in them, but mugwort is great. Teas, tinctures, etc. Please always know that I'm not with you. I am able to, because I've studied, to advise you on things, but you have to be responsible for your own knowledge when it comes to working with plant medicine. I am not your clinician or herbalist directly, unless we're working one-on-one together. Okay, so look, beautiful, gorgeous book. All right, let's find mugwort. Can you just get it? It's so pretty. Mugwort, Between Dreams, page number 80. Let's go to page 80 together. Okay. Look, I know, it's so pretty. If you could have seen the art all over the shop, y'all, when I went, I'm crying. Like, I was so emotional. Listen, oh, not the feathers. Weren't we just talking about white feathers too? Yes. Let's read mugwort together. Artemisia vulgaris, mugwort between dreams. Mugwort lives in the space between deep rest and waking. It's so perfect. Literally, I know you see between the Pisces and the Aries. Yes, yes. Little bit of more time right here. Sun and moon together in Pisces. Pick one thing. I'm telling you, today, tomorrow, pick one thing. Really, today, tomorrow, up to the 20th. Do those things. They're going to be so amplified right now. Working with water, doing the spiritual cleansing and hygiene, or the guided meditation, the sound bathing, whatever the case that it is. Maybe you're just making yourself a tea. But bless that water. Okay. She's the daughter of moonlight and the protector of those who travel the dream time. Mugwort curls around your mind, whispering your dreams into words and images that you can clutch as you climb levels of consciousness and return to your waking self. While Mugwort's constant vigil makes her a bit waspish and bitter, She knows the many layered worlds and can guide you through the serpentine paths of the collective unconscious. Call on her to guide you through dreams or journey work. If Mugwort appears to you, she's calling you to dip into these subtler realms. So if you recently got a bottle of the spring equinox, the Ostara, what do we call it? I think first blooms. If you got that oil, just know you got a little dash of Mugwort in there. Okay, this is what I also love. She always has like a ritual page and a reflection page. It's great if you're doing like your own personal guided work, dreamtime work, journaling work. These books are so great for that. Ritual remembering dreams. I went through a process for like 2 years of deciding to really lock in on my dream space, and I'd have so many downloads. Goodness gracious, I need to write. That's a reminder for me. I have so much in those journals, you guys. It's crazy. And then predictive things. Woo! I did this thing where like I would set an alarm. For me, early morning works better. Late at night is not better, but everyone's different. I just be tired. I fall so off into deep sleep like I can't. But in the morning, I would set an alarm, and I feel called to share if you decide to work with your dreams in this beautiful space. I would set an alarm, and just enough to wake up, I would pop in maybe just like one little side earbud or something and put on whatever it is you like, but preferably no words, just sounds or rain or frequency hertz or whatever, right? Shamanic drumming, maybe Tibetan sing, whatever. And I would set an intention or just ask my higher self in the universe, please make sure you understand protective measures and spiritual cleansing before you start working like this. Don't do this unprotected and ungrounded, okay? But and then I would let myself fall back to sleep with that stuff in my ears. And as soon as I'd wake back up, I would just, I'm not even going to lie, I would have to grab my phone and do in the notepad because I'll just be too groggy. I cannot write in a notebook. I tried it a few times. I ain't even going to lie, like I couldn't read it. I was like, what? So do what works for you. But man, and it takes consistency. It took me multiple years of doing that routine. Remember how we talked about mental reprogramming, to where I could get into a place that my higher self, my spiritual team, my multidimensional selves that are always in service of the highest and best good, right? Set your intentions. Okay. We really locked in, and I was getting all these downloads, and it was like, whoa. Okay. So I encourage that. Maybe that resonates with you. Remembering dreams. Before sleep, sit on the edge of your bed. Plant your feet on the ground, anchoring into the earth. Stretch tall and imagine starlight reaching for your crown. Set the intention to remember your dreams and call on Mugwort to assist you. If you're able, slip a fresh sprig or some dried mugwort in a pouch or wrapped in a cloth or a tissue into your pillowcase. Put a journal by your bed open to a fresh page. If you wake in the night, jot down anything you remember without turning on a light. Your handwriting will be messy, but you'll lose the dream more quickly if you leave the darkness. Again, you got to mess around with what works best for you, right? In the morning, before you're fully awake, lie in bed with your eyes closed and pull your dreams into your conscious mind. Reach for your journal and write them down in the present tense as though they are currently happening. It may take a few days of having the journal by the bed to encourage your subconscious to carry your dreams to the surface. Be patient with yourself. Yes. Also, if you have a good friend that you trust, or maybe you guys are spiritually journeying and learning together, it's also great to talk about your dreams together, because then that again encourages that whole, your subconscious to hang on to that dream space, okay? Reflection. Differentiating dreamscapes. Dreams have different textures, which indicate to the initiated whether a dream is a simple emptying of the unconscious mind or a passage into a different state of consciousness. Think back on your dreaming life. Can you remember dreams that felt different from your usual dreams? Perhaps the color was brighter or the sequences more realistic. Maybe you heard voices clearly or felt like you received a message. Maybe you inhabited a body not your own so fully that you could feel the texture of the fabric against your skin. Know that there are different spaces within which you dream. Track their contours and particularities. As you begin to differentiate dream states, you're creating a map of your nighttime journeys that will assist you as you further explore Mugwort's mysteries. And of course, in my apprenticeship, which was grounded with shamanism, not only witchcraft, but shamanism for those 3 years. It was understood that you have a spirit fetch and you have these different shape-shifting versions of yourself that are in different dimensionalities, different astral realms. So, excuse me, you're traveling, right? So understand that it's just in a different form. You're essentially shape-shifting, right? Sometimes you'll be gifted things, or you'll have an animal familiar. Maybe you travel with them. Each experience will be unique. It says, nightmares. Bringing lucidity to your dream time can help lay to the rest recurring night fears. Before you go to bed, choose a superpower that will help you during the nightmare. Picture yourself wielding the superpower you've chosen. Tell yourself you can call on this superpower while you're dreaming. Need an example? If you have dreams of falling, give yourself the power of flight. If you have chase dreams, give yourself the power of speed to turn the chase around and become the chaser. That's an interesting caveat about doing dream work, because especially if let's say you're working your salad bowl and maybe you're doing therapy, or you're coming out of a really bad time, or there's trauma, or you have things repressed. Sometimes, you just be careful, because they will come up, and our subconscious structures itself to survive for a reason. But I can look back and know things when I was in my dark night of the soul, like I could definitely tell by my dreams. And I can definitely remember times of having certain experiences. And thank goodness I had teachers who taught me ways of doing things that they were talking about there. Okay, so what an amazing between dreams and mugwort to come out. Okay, let's do a bestiary card too. Her animal spirits. The beautiful owl on the top there. Okay, let's see what we have. I felt so called to pull out that oracle book too. We're going to get something there. Perhaps could be a message, a synchronicity, or a confirmation. We'll see what comes through. Okay, let's see what we have. Oh, so pretty. Pause, assess, and act. Could they literally be any more appropriate at this point, honestly? Okay, look at that beautiful deer spirit. The white-tailed deer. Gorgeous. So we have between dreams and pause, assess, and act. Ooh, it's got the page number on those. I like that. Let's see. Okay. Oh, look how pretty. Okay. Here we have the white-tailed deer. It says, step delicately and truly, deer advises. Trust your intention, intuition, and your ability to move decisively. The first step in taking decisive action is to pause and get the lay of the land. Never one for snap decisions, deer freezes. Perhaps someone has like a freeze and fawn. That could be in relation to trauma, maybe your trauma healing. This makes me think of when I went to therapy. I still go to therapy. I do in cycles at one time or another. It's just, you need that objective perspective sometimes. But this makes me pause, makes me think of how we always talk about reset points here. Pause also makes me think about, she's talking about conflict resolution or dealing with people who are a certain way. We'll just say that. Someone who's looking for a reaction, reactive abuse, trying to stoke some sort of emotional, it's a vampire feed, you see. So learning the skill of the intentional pause is so huge. It changes everything, because sometimes you'd be like, oh, I almost got goaded into that. Oh, there I went, almost over-explaining myself again. Oh, you know what I mean? I was at the water cooler with those people. I know it's jealousy. I know it's bitterness. I know that's not my vibe. That's not my tribe. I almost got sucked in. The ability to pause is such a huge mental and emotional tool, to develop in your tool belt. You know what I'm saying? It will save your energy from being stolen, Spirit is saying. Never one for snap decisions, Deer freezes, feeling into each new situation, reaching out with all of her senses, and then she steps gracefully and surely into whatever's next. She'll gift you with self-confidence, especially as you move through life's cyclical changes. Those times when one season of your life is ending, hello, and another is about to begin. Yes, Spirit sees us. Listen. Trust Deer's medicine to help you make a definitive decision and step into it with grace. And for some, I feel called to say, like, if you've already made a decision, trust that. Relax. New things are unfolding, and that means you're standing in between a void. You're crossing over a bridge. Sure, it feels a little uncertain, but that's okay. Remember we talked about the Fool and the trust fall? Okay. It says ritual, map your mood. Unlike most other animals, deer's medicine is often specific to the age and gender of the deer. Fawn represents virginal innocence. Doe represents gentle mothering. Buck represents robust and wild virility. This triad mirrors the internal energies within each of us. At various points in our lives, our energy will align more with one than the others. Acknowledging where we're at shows us how our creative energy is flowing. Which face of deer are you currently wearing? Are you feeling innocent and new, protective and nurturing, robust and virile? And multiple things can be true at once, can't they? That's the beauty of this type of incarnation in this wild and crazy earth school, you know? What's the energy of this season for your life? Make a mood board to honor the aspects of deer you're currently expressing. You can do this the old-fashioned way by collecting images and tacking them to a board, or with an online collage or mood board application, right? You know, you got Canva, you know, you've got Pinterest, all these beautiful things. Now, I would encourage you, if you cultivate your media spaces, be it Instagram or whatever, those are mood boards. So cultivate those carefully and intentionally, right? It says reflection. No way. See, this is shit will be taking me out because you just can't make it up. And when you see it in real time, be like, I know you see this. Dead ass. It says pivot. I know y'all see pivot. Pivot. Okay. Oh my goodness. You can't make it up, child. Look, the power of pivot. While deer is a prey animal, swift and wily, she is far from helpless. Deer is known for duplicity, deceiving hunters into a false chase. Deer enters dense underbrush and then gracefully and quickly pivots, running off in a different direction. How can you, like deer, use your strengths and your smarts to change the balance of power? Ooh! If that's not what we doing on the collective level right now, I'm trying to tell you, and listen to this, I'm going to put you on some game of the universe real quick, and the way that karma never misses. And whether you want to call it the law of, you know, the law of causation, we can give it a lot of titles, okay? If you're like, ooh, I don't really do karma, and fine, okay. That doesn't mean it's not real. Hold on, guys. Do you hear the beeping? That's like confirmation. They're moving all this stuff around outside, like these branches and stuff. Sometimes you will be the deer to intentionally lead the predator. And it's almost like the universe saying, oh, okay, you're still going to chase the fawn? How far will you chase it into that beautiful rose? And they think, ooh, I'm just going to eat up that rose. I'm going to get that honeycomb, and then boom, because they're only focused on one thing. Spirit is going to have a way out of the thorny underbush out the back is how I'm seeing it. Because you know everybody want to pluck a rose, but you get your hand in there, oh no, what's wrong? Are you bleeding? You can't get out? It's intentionally set up in a certain way because that's how timelines get pulled down. That's how karma meets its match. Do you feel what I'm saying? Something like this is coming through. That's for some. Okay, so don't be in doubt. You can be in trust and faith. You can. That still don't make you weak. You see what I'm saying? How can you, like the deer, use your strengths and your smarts to change the balance of power? What change, of course, will cause an unexpected result? Oh, how very Uranian of us, right? Can you pivot when things are looking overwhelming, or hopeless. Okay? It says, step out of the history that is holding you back. Step into the new story you are willing to create. Yes. Okay, what a beautiful message for the new moon. I'm going to be off now, you guys. Let this beautiful energy unfold, sit with it, and be with yourselves. Love yourself extra big out there. I know it feels a little cray-cray, but it is a very beautiful new beginning. I encourage you to believe that. So I'm going to be off. I'm going to be packing beautiful magical things and doing some spring equinox and new moon readings. I hope you take good care. Love you guys. Okay, look forward to talking to you soon. Bye.